Comic books and books. Yeah, this week in comic books and books, it's a quickie. We've got a follow-up for Spider-Man. We have a new Batman comic book dropping a trailer, and that's about it. So let's talk about the news. Welcome, nerds, to the comic books and book news for the week. This is where we talk about all things comic books and literature related. So if there's a new book coming out, we're not going to get into individual arcs necessarily, unless there's some sort of like major publisher-wide effects that are going to be related to said arc. We don't really get into individual arcs or individual issues. We just talk about the broader news at large. So without any further ado, let's talk about some comic books and possibly some books as well. The comic books follow-ups and corrections this week is Spider-Man. So the Ultimate Universe just keeps getting bigger. Jonathan Hickman is writing another Ultimates book once the new Ultimates universe is officially in full swing. It is set for January of 2024, and it is going to be done with Marco Cicchetto. And that's all we know right now. Previews just rolled out, so that's kind of like we got a little bit of a synopsis for this, but really Ultimate Spider-Man's coming back. That's the thing to note. Let's move forward. From there, we have a new trailer. Like I said, new Batman comic book, Batman Gargoyle of Gotham, done in the style of The Batman, the animated series called The Batman, not the Matt Reeves live action The Batman, which, side note real quick, I find it increasingly hilarious that J.J. Abrams and Matthew Reeves, two of the biggest nerds in Hollywood, also are the showrunners for that show Felicity back in the late 90s, early aughts that my sister subjected me to every freaking week. Anyway, yeah, so new Batman trailer, it looks great. Like, the artwork that is actually from the book looks fantastic. The trailer's interesting, definitely has me intrigued why they went that direction with the trailer, but that's all we got so far. So let's move now into suggestions for books this week. It's not a comic book suggestion, it's a book suggestion. It's actually two book suggestions because Mortal Kombat. And yeah, both Mortal Kombat books. I hear rumor that there's a third one somewhere. I have never been able to find an actual copy of it, just reports of it existing on the internet, which it's got to be true then, right? But so the novelization of the first movie is an interesting read. It definitely adds a couple of things that you don't get in the movie, a little bit more depth and character development and so on and so forth, but probably not the greatest prose around. The Jeff Rovin novel, though, that is based on the characters created by Ed Boon and John Tobias, is a different universe unto itself and is such an interesting interpretation of the Mortal Kombat characters that it absolutely must be read by anybody who is even a passive fan of the Mortal Kombat franchise. So go read both of these books. Should be able to read the novelization of the first movie pretty quickly. The Jeff Rovin book, though, is a bit of a slog, so be prepared. It's worth it, though. I totally dig it. That's what we got for suggestions. Let's move on. Once again, nerds, this is just the comic books and books section from the Week in Nerddom, which is the much longer video that gets posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy or @generallynerdy, however you gotta find it. That's the main channel. You get the entire, usually around about an hour-long video there that goes into other topics as well, TV, movies, rumors, etc., etc. Go check that out. Before we leave you, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.